Good morning, welcome, and thanks for joining us for the Kehillat Shari Torah Halacha for the day. We're reviewing the laws and customs of the high holidays, Elul, Rosh Hashanah, 10 days of Tshuva, and Yom Kippur. And of course, we'll get to Sukkot and Simchas Torah also for August 6th. We're up to the point of coming home and from Shul and making Kiddush on the first evening of Rosh Hashanah. At the evening meal, writes Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, it's customary to prepare symbolic dishes, simanim. They're called, if you see them at the beginning of your Rosh Hashanah Machzor. There are a number of things we do to symbolize our wish, to concretize our wish for a happy and sweet and prosperous and good new year. Among them are the following. We dip the piece of challah of hamotzi in honey, and we say, Yehi ratzon shetachadesh aleinu shana tova umetuka. May it be God's will that we are renewed for a good and sweet year. After that, we dip a piece of apple in honey, and we say the bracha berei peri ha'etz and eat it also. And say the Yehi Ratzon again. Some people only say on the apple. A lot of different customs there. Some people eat the head of an animal. If you're really particular, you could get a sheep's head, which is also a reminder of the ram of Isaac, because our second day Torah reading for Rosh Hashanah is going to be the binding of Isaac. There is a ram involved, if you remember, who, spoiler alert, does not make it through the whole story. So in remembrance of that, and also for the idea of a head, some people have a sheep's head. I could tell you where to get those in Toronto. If you're interested, please be in touch. Some people use a fish head. I have heard that the vegetarians use a head of lettuce. I cannot confirm this. However, you'll have to ask them yourselves. However, whatever you're eating to indicate the head, you say, there's a little Yehi Ratzon there to say in the Machzor, it says, Yehi Ratzon shenihiya lerosh. May it be that God's will that we be like a head, we be leaders. Okay? We also eat vegetables with the names of which in our country allude to good things, or the names of which in Yiddish-speaking countries or Aramaic-speaking countries allude to good things. For example, in our country, remember he's writing in Europe in the 19th century, and people spoke Yiddish there. Merin means to increase, to make mer, to make more of something is to increase or to multiply. It also happens to be the word for carrots. So a lot of people eat carrots on Rosh Hashanah, and even prepared with honey or with other sweet things. Carrots are already pretty sweet. And you say, Yehi Ratzon sheyirbu zechu yotenu. May it be God's will that our merits increase. Some people have the custom to eat an elaborate fish course, not just because they want to say the Yehi Ratzon on the fish head, but also because fish are fertile and reproduce easily and frequently. He notes that the fish should not be cooked in vinegar because we don't want to eat sour or bitter foods on Rosh Hashanah. We don't want anything that has to do with sourness or bitterness. So usually people leave off the pickles, the chrein, the horseradish, and all that, only sweet things. We also eat choice meats and all kinds of sweet things. It's also customary not to eat nuts and almonds. He notes because the numerical value of egos is the same as chet, which means sin. Also, nuts increase the mucus in your throat, which interferes with your davening. As I like to point out, in the name of I believe the Gerer Rebbe, the Sfas Emes, was accustomed to remind people that it's true that the gematria, the numerical value of egos, is the same as chet. The Sfas Emes would also remind people that the numerical value of the gematria of chet is also chet. So everyone's careful to avoid nuts and almonds and all that. We should also be careful to avoid sins at the same time. Proper to study some Torah during the meal. Some have the custom of studying the Mishnah, tractate Rosh Hashanah, which I believe you will find in your High Holiday Machzor, in the Rosh Hashanah Machzor, immediately after Kiddush, and the Simanim in the order of things for the first night of Rosh Hashanah. Please God, it should be good for all of us, for the whole Jewish people, and for the entire world, a good and sweet and happy and healthy New Year. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.